Perhaps you guys have seen our previous video about disturbing things sasaengs do to male idols. In that video, we talked about BTS's Jungkook as he kept getting unknown calls and messages when broadcasting a livestream with fans. Even worse was the case where a sasaeng posted a claim on Twitter that she had NCT's Chenlun's numbers and had tormented him with a bunch of creepy messages. So, have you ever wondered how these sasaengs can actually get the idols' highly private information like phone numbers, moving schedules, house address, and such? Are they professional hackers? Or did they bribe someone to leak out information? Since forever, sasaeng fans have had a real bad reputation for always violating K-pop idols' privacy despite the consequences. It's because of these crazy fans that K-pop idols are always under the highest protection, from physical to information. It sure is difficult, even impossible, for normal people to get anything personal from the idols. However, one way or another, there is a fact that sasaeng fans can still manage to put their hand on such confidential things. And in today's video, we're going to discover some of the methods that are said to be mostly used by sasaengs to get K-pop idols' private information. Number 1. Using social media. Social media is a common yet usually underrated tool that has always been the right hand of sasaeng fans in digging into the private lives of idols. Take the case where some fans managed to get on the same flight with a famous artist, for example. To find out the answer for this how-to question, a news reporter once went undercover to find out how sasaengs were able to do such a thing. Soon enough, the reporters discovered that there were multiple Twitter accounts that sold idols' flight schedules, flight numbers, and seat information for a small fee. As soon as buyers transferred the money, the information would be sent. The media also reported on information trading services in Korea, in which the phone numbers of idols are sold through social networks. Even more surprising is that you just need to pay a dirt cheap price, around 7,000 won, to get such confidential information. Though there is no guarantee about authenticity, what should be mentioned is that once you trade personal information, you have broken the law and your actions are regarded as illegal and fraudulent. A YouTube channel named Korea Scouter TV once interviewed a former sasaeng fan, and this person shared that social media was the main way that she put her hands on idols' information. Moreover, she also revealed how sasaeng fans often stalk the social media accounts of their favorite idols, as well as the accounts of people close to them, such as managers, stylists, and makeup artists, to find out what the idols are doing. A veteran sasaeng once said that whenever her idols or their managers posted a photo on SNS, she could immediately find the location or information about the restaurant and what they were eating. Number 2. Leaked by internal staff and airport employees. As I've mentioned above, sasaengs can buy information from some social media accounts. Thus, there are very high chances that these accounts belong to someone who clearly knows about the information, like the idols' agency staff or airport staff. A former sasaeng once revealed that in order to achieve gatbi, which is roughly translated to together airplane, meaning being on the same flight with their idols, sasaeng fans sometimes buy the flight details and personal information of their idols from someone who works in the airlines. After receiving the info, these crazy fans would book the closest seat near the idols, then try to take pictures and interact with them. After that, they would get off right before the flight departure and demanded refunds from the airlines. In such situations, not only the idols were threatened, but the flight order itself was also disturbed. Former idol Soobin, who is a victim of stalkers to this day, recently turned to YouTube to explain the way sasaengs got his phone numbers. The first involves the illegal act of phone company staff. In South Korea, they often recruit younger people for customer service staff because it's a simple job and requires a lower salary. Moreover, security and privacy is usually poor at some phone companies. So to get idols' numbers, sasaengs just need to sneak out the young people who work at these companies, pay them a handsome amount of money, and get the phone numbers. As these workers have enough power to search for their customers' information, with a simple name and date of birth, they can meet the demand of sasaeng fans right off the bat. Soobin said that although many idols change their phone numbers regularly, with an attempt to avoid unwanted calls and texts, since phone numbers in Korea need to be registered under a legal name, it's easy for obsessive stalkers to find them again and again. According to Soobin, there's only one way to prevent such annoying incidents from happening. The idols have to ask their family or acquaintances to register phone numbers for them. Speaking of the enemy is also the ones around us, it would be a great mistake not to mention the case of Chewie Twice. Remember, at the end of January this year, how Chewie's house in Taiwan had been burgled? Unfortunately, the perpetrator was a temporary cleaning worker that came recommended by a family friend. Being blinded by money, this cleaner ended up betraying the trust of Chewie's family by stealing her signed goods, posters, albums, and many other items. Although she made off with no monetary possessions, she still received punishments for the intention of profiting by selling Chewie's stuff. Number 3. Sharing information amongst each other. Another common method sasaeng fans use is sharing information amongst each other. There are many groups throughout social networking that specialize in trading and commercializing idols' private information and are run by experienced sasaengs. A former sasaeng fan shared how she eventually became a source of information for other sasaengs. After a while of being an information hunter, she soon became a trustworthy hub for trading K-pop idols' information, and started making quite a bit of money from selling it. With the money I got, I can follow my idols to any places and earn even more money, she said. This girl also admitted that she did take a lot of private photos and videos of idols, but she has now deleted them all. YouTuber Charlize Moe also once interviewed a former BTS sasaeng fan, and this person shared it's quite common for sasaengs to gather and share idols' information back and forth in the community. In that interview, when asked about the exact things she did as a sasaeng, whether stalking them or selling private information, she honestly admitted doing both and made some money off those. The stuff she sold includes flight lists, private photos and phone numbers, etc. The more information you have, the more you crave, and you can also sell these to other sasaengs as well, she said. Though selling artists' private information was not enough to make ends meet, still, the amount of money was handsome enough to keep her to stick with the job. The one thing that gives us goosebumps is that sasaengs are not an exclusive group. This female sasaeng revealed that it's not too hard to find and join several sasaeng groups, as well as approach leaked information. It's a whole freaking community. This means that confidential information of K-pop idols is no longer a scarce thing. The only one thing buyers must do is know which source is reliable enough to put money in. On the subject of stalking, this former sasaeng confessed she did a couple of things that she was not very proud of. The worst thing that comes to her mind is taking the same flight and trying to gather attention from BTS. Number 4. Getting jobs that help find information. Though some sasaengs are rich and can easily get idols' information with just a stack of money, some choose a more convenient way that's also very effective, which is finding jobs that allow them to approach idols' privacy, such as working at telephone companies, airports, or even cleaning workers on planes. Some even bribe the service staff to hire them if they're not qualified for the job. Just like that, during work, these sasaengs could easily take photos or videos of idols, even touch them or talk to them in person. Number 5. Cacao Talk. The last but common way for sasaengs to get information is Cacao Talk. Scobin also mentioned this messaging app of South Korea. As many Koreans have their numbers connected to Cacao Talk, sasaeng fans can easily find idols' messenger IDs if they already have their phone numbers. However, there have been cases where idols didn't link their numbers to Cacao Talk but still got their accounts found and hacked. This is because many new idols who have little experience with stalkers set their Cacao Talk IDs as something super relatable to their traits and thus making their personal accounts guessable. Subin also said the security level on the app is relatively low, so fans can keep typing in ID guesses, such as idols' names and birthdays combined, until they find the account they're looking for. And while it must be scary enough for idols to be contacted by stalkers trying to get close to them, it gets worse as these people actually use the information to blackmail idols. At this point, it's no longer over-admiration, but a form of metamorphosis. So, which do you think is the sneakiest and scariest way to dig up personal information of idols? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more great content. Thank you for watching.